I want the truth. Who killed those folks, Lunge?
I want the truth. I'm from the media. I go to the police officer and I demand the truth. Okay, I want the truth right now, police officer, even though I have no right to ask this. Jesus. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I am MrFonrath, and once again, as per usual, we have returned for some more monster. Now, unfortunately, as you can clearly see by my face, I am sick. I am indeed suffering. If I sound a little bit sick or just a little bit, not into it in the next couple of episodes, then that's why. We have returned with episode 22. I know what episode we're on. Don't think that I don't. I know. Now, last episode was definitely one to remember. We met Mueller again. Nina, the one who supposedly killed. We didn't see it, but they said that Mueller was the one who killed Nina's parents, or foster parents, whatever. And last episode, Nina went to spy on him, and well, this Mueller guy had a bodyguard that was working for Johan, apparently. Mueller, let's just say, had hired some sort of detective, and this detective gathered too much evidence, I guess, and so the bodyguard proceeded to get rid of the evidence. They also tried to kidnap, or they kind of did kidnap Nina. One thing that was weird last episode was, as I said last episode, was it seemed like they were going to kill Nina, which was just so out of left field, right? Like, he was like, what do you mean? I thought you were trying to capture her for Johan, but like, apparently not. It was weird. Unfortunately, before Nina could take him out, a guy shot Mueller after Mueller had saved Nina's life, apparently, I think, maybe. And Nina killed him. Like, the random guy that shot him. Or at least, I think she did. It's kind of hard because, I didn't actually think that Nina would kill. I'm surprised. I'm just surprised that that they had Nina kill someone. They cannot get away with saying, oh, Nina hasn't killed anyone. Yes, she has. She literally shot the guy. It doesn't matter if it was some sort of random mob character or random like background like mercenary or something. It does not matter. You killed someone, right? So at this point, Nina has killed someone. Murder. Oh my god, murder. Regardless, I guess with that said, I'll just head into the next episode.
Excuse me, sir, just a couple of questions, please. Stay there! Stay right there! Hold it! Sir, with his
Back off! You're interfering with a crime scene.
Another crime scene. Oh wait, shit. I knew I forgot something. My energy drink.
Mr. and Mrs. Yope were quite wealthy and had no children, right?
No matter how you look at it, it's obvious this incident is exactly like the other cases of murdered middle-aged couples across Germany.
No comment at this time.
I've heard that the BKA is sending an agent to look into this. Is that true?
Does that mean
An
there's a
agent?
connection to the serial murders?
No comment.
Oh, man.
Anyone with any kind of like brain would be able to tell that, yes, obviously, saying no comment is the correct way to go because you're the police, right? You can't comment on something and say that something is the way it is, like state facts, if you don't have any, right? You can't say for sure, for 100% sure, that it is connected to the other murders. Even if it looks very similar, you can't say for sure, right? Who knows? There might be a copycat. There might be some other factors at play, right? It might just look similar. So you saying like, oh, it does look very similar, the media would just be like, oh, it's the same. It looks similar, it's the same. Police said it looks similar, so it must be the same, right? It's like anything the police says without actual factual evidence, they're liable for their own words, as it were, right? If they say something, that something is the way it is and it's wrong, then they're fucked. Like it's it's best to just say no comment because, well, they just, they're not sure of anything yet.
Just trust me, all right?
I promise you we'll be the first ones with the story. Just make sure you leave plenty of space on the front page. Just do it, I gotta go.
Is that Lunge? Lunge?
Excuse me,
Oh my
sir.
god, it is.
My name is Kipper. I'm with the Hamburg Tag.
The who? The what now?
You've been sent here by the BKA to investigate this murder. Correct me if I'm wrong. I was wondering.
I thought he was taken off the case.
The other serial murders.
Well, Kipper.
Oh wait,
Hamburg
right,
Tag.
never mind. I'm stupid. He was taken off his like current case at the time. I think he was taken off this case as well, but he's like investigating this on his own or something. But he was taken off the case having to do with the councilman or something.
You're right on both counts. Get your pen ready, because here's my statement. A middle-aged couple was murdered, and it appears to be another serial slaying.
I knew it! And is the suspect that Japanese doctor?
Yes, I just saw the report. It's his MO. The murders were carried out the same way.
Thank you for the scoop. Gotta run.
Oh, one more thing.
Huh?
I'm aware the Hamburg Tag is the leading local newspaper, but I expect you to make sure your story gets published in every major newspaper in the country as well.
Hey,
That's
consider it
weird.
Done. Thanks again for all your help.
That's weird. I still think that Lunge is like the dark horse, the character that you think is bad, but in reality is a very good guy. And with that said, I'm surprised that he's saying this. Because like, you know, this guy, this media guy, he's like, is the suspect still that like, you know, Asian doctor Tenma guy? Lunge says, yes, he is, and that's his MO, right? Like, yeah, he's not specifically saying that he's the killer, but that's kind of what he's just alluding to. So does he truly actually believe that Tenma's behind this? Somehow? Like, I don't know. I don't want to believe that he would just so easily jump on the Tenma train, right? I mean, he strikes me as the type of character that has a plan. He's somehow already seen a scenario where Johan exists, and Johan is a very, very difficult opponent, and so he has some sort of overarching like plan. He doesn't strike me as someone who just randomly jumps on the bandwagon. Chapter 22, Lunge's Trap. Hello? Whatever this is. I mean, whatever Lunge's Trap is, but, you know, like I said, yeah, I feel like he's the type of character to have a plan.
I have become the killer. I think to myself as I approach, what's the best way to get into their house? Should I knock? I don't want to startle the Yopes by walking in on them. Such a friendly couple. They greet me and show me to the living room.
I mean, he's the type of character, right, that I would expect to be like, okay, if this Johan exists, which is likely, because, you know, he met Tenma in person, and Tenma definitely doesn't seem like the type. So he's like, okay, assuming that this Johan character exists, right? If he exists and he was like 10 years old when he killed, like, you know, all those doctors and whatnot, and you know, he's like insanely smart, then I would be like, this is not someone to take lightly, and you don't want to draw his gaze, I guess. You don't want to let him know that you're onto him. So the best thing to do is to go unnoticed. How would you do this in this case? Well, throw Tenma kind of under the bus. Show that you are actively constantly thinking that Tenma is the suspect and the killer, but in reality you investigate secretly, knowing that Tenma is not the killer, right? So you try to find the real killer while outwardly showing to everyone else that, oh yeah, Tenma's the killer, 100%, yeah, 100%, yeah. Like you're making it seem as if you're on the wrong track, but in reality you're secretly investigating someone else.
These folks aren't the least
Like, that's the type of shit
suspicious
that I would expect from Lunge.
as they lead me in.
It just is, you know?
The husband's chair. Naturally, I sit on the sofa, facing him. A few minutes later, the husband will die on the floor, over there. But I haven't made that move yet, so I have to decide when to eliminate him. I'll do it when the wife leaves the room. Where did she go? To the kitchen to make us some tea. She is stabbed in the back before she even has a chance to serve it. Obviously, then, I need to make my move on the husband while she's occupied in the kitchen. I reach in, pull out the knife. The husband sees this, panics, tries to stand up. I stab him, but I miss and end up slashing him. The husband runs off with blood dripping from his wounded left hand. So I try to get him again. I swing the knife. This time I only puncture his right shoulder. I'm such a clumsy amateur. Desperately, the husband yells his wife.
I mean, this is all wrong. You wanna know why? I've already completely killed his deductive reasoning. I've completely already killed it. Look, if I invited someone into my home, and they pulled a knife on me, and they swung at me, and they didn't kill me in one move, like they didn't slash my throat or something to prevent me from screaming, the second someone pulls a knife, I'm yelling. Like, this is like, not even a question. Like, the second someone pulls a knife, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? You know, and then my wife, who's in the kitchen right over there, she's gonna notice. But, you know, he already established that, oh, then the wife was taken off guard or stabbed from behind or something. So this is already wrong. There's no way he wouldn't, the husband wouldn't scream or, like, you know, make noise, you know? Like, why, you know?
His name, only she can't hear him from out in the kitchen. Recently, she's developed a hearing problem.
Really?
Yes, turns out I knew about that, didn't I?
Really? A hearing problem? You'd have to be literally deaf.
Go on, shout all you want. I can take my time to kill you and then your wife. You're trapped.
Okay.
There's your left handprint on the wall. You can't get away from me. I've got you pinned against this table. You're finished. But then, something prevents me from completing the task. It's 5 meters from this point to where the husband dies. How come? Why not just eliminate him here and be done with it? Why wait?
So your own reflection.
I've never seen him. Do you suspect he's the one who broke in and murdered my neighbors?
For the moment, I can only say he's a person of interest, but I'm asking everybody in the neighborhood for their cooperation in this matter. If you see this man, just act normal. I don't want him to become suspicious. Then get in touch with me as soon as you possibly can. That would be all. I personally assure you, you won't be in any danger.
The fact that he's
Leo
looking
days with such
for...
nice people, just the best.
The fact
When
that
I
he's
called out
showing
to her from
Tenma's
my
picture...
doorstep, Mrs. Yope would always greet me
Does he
cheerfully.
actually, like,
That's very
believe that
interesting.
Tenma's the killer?
It certainly appears that your business is booming. You made rapid progress at an early age. It's not easy for a young man to achieve such quick success, Mr. Jeeble.
You're right. The contracts I made with the car manufacturers just happened to work out.
My deepest condolences for the recent loss of your aunt and uncle.
Thank you. Their passing was a great loss. They were the only relatives I had left in the world. They treated me as if I were their son. Sir, tell me you'll be able to catch the murderer.
I will. I'm pretty sure I know who's behind it.
Me too. I bet it was that Japanese doctor, wasn't it?
Oh my
Sounds like
god.
You're very well informed.
Well, of course I am. As a matter of fact, I've heard he's been linked to other murders similar to this.
I was gonna say, like, I find the whole, like, oh, please, officer, promise me, tell me that you're gonna find the son of a bitch who did this. It's like, I find that to be so stupid. You know, if you watch any kind of crime show, right, there's always that same thing where police comes to some random people, or maybe not random, right? People who are like friends and family of the victim or something, and then they ask them, where were you during so-and-so and this and that, right? And they go, what, you think I did it? Like, are you fucking dumb? It's called, do you have an alibi? The police needs to know the timeline of everyone involved. Like, maybe, you know, like, obviously you're a fucking suspect, you know, like, you were nearby. Maybe you were someone the victim knew. Like, am I a suspect? Well, yeah, just like everybody else is a suspect. It's just so annoying to me whenever I hear that, like, what, you think I did it? People getting defensive and shit. Like, shut the fuck up, you know? Obviously, they're gonna ask you where you were, what you were doing, when you were doing it. It's just really annoying to me.
I'm curious. Just how much do you stand to inherit?
But notice, Lunge didn't necessarily. He said, "Oh, you're well informed, right?" But he didn't actually say yes, right? Because the question this guy was asked was it that Asian doctor guy who I've heard is a suspect in similar cases. He doesn't actually confirm it.
You see, I found out that Mr. Yope was quite a wealthy man.
So what? His wealth has nothing to do with this serial murder case.
Sir, I presume you are the sole heir to their considerable estate, seeing as how you
Ooh.
are their only nephew.
The second I hear this,
See,
hang on.
sir,
So what? His wealth has nothing to do with this serial murder case.
His wealth has nothing to do with the serial murder case. The thing is, normal people would be like, his wealth has nothing to do with the serial murder case. Does it? Question mark? Right? You'd be inquisitive because you're not supposed to know. Now, if you're talking to the police or whatnot and you're saying statements like his wealth has nothing to do with the murder case, it's, how the fuck do you know? Right? You know that someone's probably hiding something, or maybe very likely hiding something. When they're not being inquisitive, they're being like factual, almost like they know something that they're not supposed to know.
Sir, I presume you are the sole heir to their considerable estate, seeing as how you are their only nephew.
It's inappropriate to be discussing my inheritance in these circumstances.
A company can appear to be booming on the surface, but underneath may have serious cash flow problems that have gotten out of hand. It's a common occurrence in the business world.
Just a minute! You're implying I murdered them when there's a serial...
You're implying I murdered. Shut the fuck up. I mean, Lunge is good at his job, I will say that. This is... I guess, look, I've never dealt with police before, okay? Literally, I've never dealt with police. I've never been a criminal, right? I've never done anything illegal. Well, maybe that's not entirely correct, but my point is I've never dealt with police, but even I know that these are probing questions. He says, "Oh, you're the sole inheritor of this wealth, I mean, But getting defensive like this, going, "You're assuming that I murdered them for the wealth?" It's like you're stupid. This is a stupid reaction. When dealing with police, you don't behave like this.
Killer on the loose? How dare you!
What are you so worried about? You have a perfect alibi for the time in question.
Exactly.
And you have plenty of witnesses. You bought
Fucking
your
dumbass.
secretary and some others a nice dinner after a long meeting.
What exactly are you getting at?
That it appears that you could not be the murderer. I'm sure you agree.
That it appears. It
Inspector
appears as if
Well,
he can't
what
be.
do you want, Kipper?
What the hell is going on?
Going on with what?
Don't play dumb, Inspector. I've been out digging up stuff on that nephew for the last couple days. His company looks profitable at first glance, but turns out to be holding a lot of bad stocks and bonds. Cash-wise, it's in a world of hurt. And now, I found out you've been investigating the same company. I want the truth. Who killed those folks, Lunge?
I
Do you
want the
still think this
truth.
case-
I'm from the media. I go to the police officer and I demand the truth. Okay, I want the truth right now, police officer, even though I have no right to ask this. Jesus. If I was Lunge, I would turn around and be like, "Bro, who the fuck are you? Get the fuck out of the fucking police headquarters." If this is the police headquarters, I probably not. I don't know. Point is, who the fuck are you? I don't tell classified police information to regular civilians. So, out you go. The door is over there. Let yourself out.
A variation of my story. If the cases aren't related, then it's just sensational journalism. My reputation could be damaged.
Oh, my reputation could be damaged. Shut the
Instincts are
fuck up.
Correct. It's the work of a copycat. It was set up to look like the serial killer.
That's just great. I've got to publish a retraction right away.
No. It's fine as it is.
Huh?
You'll continue writing your follow-up stories as if this case were another one of the middle-aged couple murders.
What? It's not ethical. No way. I won't do it, I tell you.
Oh, but you will.
I'm an honest journalist who believes in reporting the whole truth. And you're not gonna tell me what I can write.
Well, let me give you the truth.
Sure, bro.
You have
Sure.
good taste, really. She's quite lovely. You have a pleasant home. With a devoted wife and a doting daughter who both adore you, but it was impossible for you to resist the charms of that attractive other woman, wasn't it? Continue as before. No. Beef it up a little. Write a special report about the serial murders. If you do as I've asked, he'll most certainly come. I'm counting on you.
See? Lunge knows that he'll most certainly come. He knows that Tenma will come. Why? Why would, what, like, you know? If Tenma was the murderer, why would he come to investigate the murder, you know, that he committed? He wouldn't. So it's like Tenma, or Lunge knows that, or at least I think Lunge knows that Tenma didn't do it, or isn't the serial killer, but still uses that to kind of try to lure him out. Like, I don't know. It's weird. I feel like Lunge doesn't think that Tenma is the killer, but at the same time really pushes the agenda of you know, telling everyone that Tenma's the killer.
I see.
Like, what's his plan? It's so weird. But I guess, I mean, Lunge's trap is that to trap Tenma, I guess. But why? If he already knows that Tenma is innocent, and he knows that Tenma's investigating these murders as well, what's the point? What's the point of getting to Tenma?
There's no mistaking him. He's the man from that photo, and he's in my dining room right now.
Nothing to worry about. Thanks for your cooperation.
Someone's here to see you.
Well, who is it?
He says he's the nephew of the Yopes, that couple that was killed.
You believe I'm the one who murdered them. I'm your suspect, right? You think I killed my aunt and uncle for their money. That's what you hinted at the other day.
This guy has to be the dumbest. Like, no fucking wonder his business is failing, okay? This guy has to be the dumbest person in the show so far.
Let's face it, we both know that I have many debts right now. And the inheritance money they ended up leaving me will more than likely get me out of this whole mess. However, that's not the kind of person I am.
He's literally the most dumbest person I've ever seen. Oh my god.
You're here to tell me.
Exactly. Like, he just hinted at a very basic possibility. But because he struck so close to home, most likely fucking bullseye, right? This guy feels the need, the unconscious need to defend himself, to try to, you know, because the second someone gets it right on the mark, right? When someone guesses something and gets it right on the money, there's like an immediate need to try to disprove them because you feel like you've been caught, right? When someone figures something out or even just guesses at a possibility and it's right, there's like this inherent need to try to disprove it and convince the other person that, oh, this is not the case. It's like when I say, pick a number between 1 and 5, and you pick a number, you pick 4, right? But they don't know that. And then they're like, oh, you picked a number between 1 and 5. And you're like, I definitely didn't pick 4. Like, very, very extreme example, but like, if someone kind of guesses at the number, or let's say, you know, they say, oh, you picked 2 or 4. Unconsciously, you're gonna be like, oh shit, now it's a 50-50. I have to somehow convince him not to pick 4. What do I say? You know, 2 definitely is a number that I do like. I mean, 4 is also good. And then it comes down to like cold reading and like figuring out psychology and stuff. But my point is that once someone strikes a little too close to home, then there's this need to start defending yourself, even though you don't need to, right? They have no evidence.
How dare you speak to me in such a condescending way?
They have no evidence.
Well, if you'll excuse me, there's somewhere I have to be right at the moment.
Don't you walk away. I demand an apology for your disrespect.
I demand! Shut up about that!
Perhaps you weren't aware that the police had been following you. Well, now, that order has been cancelled. Your local law enforcement thinks that you're innocent. Isn't that good enough for you, Mr. Jeeble?
Well,
Exactly.
Do you agree with them, or am I still the prime target of your investigation?
You want to know if I think you're guilty? That really doesn't matter to me at the moment. My chief concern is to catch the man I've been after.
He's doing the same thing.
Can only mean one thing. must have missed.
Then, am I to assume that you're convinced the Japanese doctor is responsible for killing my aunt and uncle?
Never assume anything. I've concluded it was a copycat murder made to look like the middle-aged couple's homicides.
But how can you be so certain about that?
Because there's one element this case has that makes it different from all the others.
The killer cornered the victim here. But he doesn't finish him off. Waits till his victim gets over there before delivering the final blow. But why? Why does the murderer hesitate? It's not him.
That element is emotion.
Emotion?
Yes, you see, the man I'm after always takes small valuables. He tries to make his crimes look like robberies. He murders quickly without hesitation or emotion. At least that's his goal. But this crime scene is full of emotions. The killer panicked when he saw his face and the victim's face together in the mirror. You needn't worry. From what I've observed, the police in this town are totally incompetent.
This crime was definitely not committed by Johan. But somebody wants the police to pin it on him. How much longer is this all going to continue? When will it end?
What's the...
Hello, it's been a while. So we finally meet again, Dr. Tenma. I've been looking all over for you for a very long time.
Why is he running?
There's no use in running away anymore. Stop trying to escape and talk to me. The fact is, there's no place you can hide, Dr. Tenma.
I'm a little confused about this scenario.
Yes, you're all mine.
Okay.
Why couldn't you just leave it alone?
Yep.
Guilty, I confess. I want to turn myself.
That's what I would have done, honestly, as well. You know, I'm surprised people don't shoot people in the leg more often.
Been all right. I'm the one who came in and killed him. No!
Okay, that's a little bit unnecessary.
Nothing to me. Just stay out of my way.
Though, I'm a little confused. Like, is Lunge's like... I mean, Lunge didn't go in guns blazing, right? Like, he probably did just want to talk. Tenma was the one who immediately pulled the gun. Even if Lunge suspects Tenma to be the killer, which I don't think he does, would he just go in and try to kill him? I don't think he would. So I'm surprised Tenma reacted like that.
Tim, come on!
Damn, bro. I was gonna say, like, dude got stabbed and he's just fine?
He's been seriously wounded. I've got to do something now or he's going to bleed to death. I'll drop him off in front of the hospital and get away.
Again, like, the thing is, Lunge 100%... Okay, at this point, I'm gonna say it. Lunge 100% doesn't think that Tenma is the killer. The reason I know this is because, I mean, if he was, he would be dead. Simple as. So I actually think that he does just want to, like, I guess, you know, capture him and then ask him questions.
Tim, where are they? I need the keys to the handcuffs. Tell me where you put them, Inspector. Don't bother reaching for your gun. I took it off you while you were unconscious. Don't be so stubborn. Just give me the keys. I'm a doctor, but I can't help you like this. I examined your wound the best I could. It appears that only your muscles sustain the damage. But you're losing an awful lot of blood. If we don't stop the bleeding, you're going to die!
Come on, confess. Do it, Dr. Tenma.
Confess to what?
That you murdered the director of Eisler Memorial Hospital along with 3 others. And that you've been on a 3-year killing spree targeting middle-aged couples. It's
Why?
time to come clean and admit what you've done.
Again, I don't think he or I don't think he actually believes that. Like, logic would say that, hey, if he really was the killer, he would have just killed you already.
If you keep this up, you'll be a dead man.
Come on, Doctor. Don't try to fool me. You're only fooling yourself by running around.
What would be the
chasing
point?
Johan. Johan doesn't exist. Admit it. You made him up. You're a killer. You're Johan, Dr. Tenma. Own up to it.
Inspector, right now you require emergency treatment. I have everything I need to do the procedure. Except for my hands! They're my tools, and I can't save your life with them chained together!
Yes. When you're the well-liked Dr. Tenma, those are the hands of a highly skilled surgeon who has saved many lives. But how many people have you killed with those hands?
You've got it wrong. I'm not a killer.
No, but you change into Johan. When does the good doctor turn into the bad monster?
I already told you you're mistaken.
And let me tell you, I never make mistakes.
Your blood pressure's falling. You're going to lose consciousness soon.
Your crime scenes are always...
No more talking, it'll weaken you.
Your crime scenes are always lacking in something. An emotional factor.
Save your strength.
Dealing with life and death every day forces doctors to check their emotions. Right, Dr. Tenma? You develop a cold exterior, and it's that coldness I always find at your crime scenes. Cold, calm, emotionless taking of life.
I am not that kind of man. Every time I operate, 1,000 emotions go through my head. They affect my every decision. Is my diagnosis accurate? Will there be any unforeseen complications? Will my patient even survive? How can I be calm when I hold a person's life in my hands? In these hands? How in the hell can I be calm?
Don't come closer. Stop.
I can save you.
I will shoot.
I need my hands to stop the bleeding. Are the keys in your pants pocket? Tell me.
I will.
I mean, we'll talk about it afterwards.
You really had us worried for a while, but you're looking quite well.
Lots better than when you're running around investigating crimes.
I guess this means you're not rid of me yet.
Yeah, you'll be back on your feet in no time. That emergency procedure you received before you got here was done perfectly. Your doctor said you wouldn't be alive without it.
I'm assuming that Tenma got his hands free and used them to save my life.
Yeah, well, he got away, but we got Jeeble. He confessed to murdering the Yope couple. He stabbed you because you were onto him. You did good, Lunge.
Thank you.
It's quite clear that Tenma saved Lunge's life, so I'm worried Lunge might have a problem pursuing him now. I'm wondering if I should remove him from the Tenma case. I'm sorry. Did he call for you again? Inspector Lunge can be very demanding.
Oh, he really isn't that difficult at all. In fact, I find him to be very pleasant. I keep telling him not to rush through the recovery process, but he's quite determined. He's already working on strengthening his grip, and he's taking long walks down the hall. He seems to be having a really fun time recovering.
He's having fun?
Yes, he's always telling me that nothing has been more enjoyable for him than... What was the suspect's name again? Oh yes, it was Tenma. That chasing after a criminal like Tenma is the most fun he could ever have.
Okay, I mean, it was a good episode, but I guess I must have overestimated Lunge's abilities. Or at least, you know, I thought to myself, Lunge should almost 100% know that Tenma just isn't the killer. I do like the fact that, you know, they kind of show that Lunge is very, well, I guess having fun chasing Tenma. Or, well, I guess Johan as well, without realizing. But I don't know. To me, it's kind of like why would Tenma be investigating Johan? Or like investigating all these murders? And why would he not kill Lunge when he had the chance? Right? Like those two things already, just the fact that he's investigating the murders, Tenma is, I mean, should already shed some sort of like hesitancy when it comes to believing that Tenma is Johan and Johan is Tenma. You know, I feel like Lunge is so like, if he really actually thinks that Tenma is Johan, then he's so caught up in that it's just kind of weird, because it's not like there was any kind of evidence or like lack, how do I say this? Yes, there wasn't any kind of evidence to suggest that Johan existed, because he did a very good job not leaving any evidence, but at the same time there wasn't really anything suggesting that he might not exist, that he might be Tenma with a different personality. Once Lunge kind of just thought of this like split personality thing, it's almost like, oh yeah, Johan definitely doesn't exist. People have almost completely just stopped even thinking about Johan, and now they're just thinking that Tenma's the killer. To the point where early on, Tenma was like, hey, there's this Johan guy that I saved as a kid, and now he's going around killing people. Now yes, there's no actual evidence, but you would first think, your first thought would be, Tenma is telling the truth? Or at least, why would he lie? You would think that this Johan person actually exists, right? I'm just surprised, you know? I'm just like, I don't want to believe that Lunge actually believes that Tenma's the killer. Or believes in this like split personality thing so hard that he just completely ignores the fact that maybe, just maybe, Tenma is not Johan. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, good episode, but I guess I just want to overestimate Lunge's abilities. It is what it is. We also had this guy, I suppose, that honestly is a prime example of how not to be if you're a killer. And yeah, the rest was just Lunge investigating and getting Tenma into a trap, I guess. Yeah, he seems to be enjoying himself. But that's that. I hope you enjoyed episode 22 of The Monster, as I sure did. And I'll see you next time.